Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Andy Gill getting some advice off Aaron.
Hello, Elvis.
Good morning.
How are you? We've got our pellet.
Oh, it's a pellet day for Mr. Gill.
You reckon? What are you doing today, pal? Where are you going up?
I think we're going on to Benny's. We're going to see if them F1's are performing. I think they might be shallower a little bit. What do you reckon?
Definitely, with my expert knowledge of fishing.
Did you notice he cottoned on straight away there, asking his advice, the non-fisherman?
You want 10 bags of 4 mils, that's what you want.
Now, and now he's upselling me. He thinks I need 10 bags of pellets. Right, good morning fish people. I'm Alan Norris from FishOn TV, and yet again you're joining us at the lovely Lindholme Lakes. Now the plan today was to fish bennies, and I was going to have a look and see if there were shallow and bennies, but they're seeding all around the lake and what have you, so there's not that many pegs. It's blowing a bit of a hoolie today. It's quite a little bit chilly actually, to be fair. So we've ended up coming on Willows. Now I've picked an area here just so I'm out of the way of all lads. There's a few lads from club over there. I didn't want to get crammed in, and today I decided just to go on Pellet. That's it. I've just got the one rig. If they start coming shallow, I've got some other top kits down there which I can put a couple of shallow rigs on, but I've just set one rig up. It's quite a positive rig. It's a 4x14's float, quite a bit of wind, so even though it's only, I don't know, what's that, 3 foot deep, not very deep at all, I still wanted it quite still. I wanted to hold in place, and basically very, very positive rig. I've got some bulk shot and 3 droppers, and the bottom dropper is a number 12 dropper and a 4-inch hook length. It's 013 bottom with a B911 and a little band. The float is it's a Preston F1 pellet wire stem, and I've got a 10-12 elastic. Now I will say that I've had an hour on it. I've had 5 or 6 F1's, and they've been quite decent size actually, but it's not been prolific. I mean, Bob's been catching 1 or 2. Don't think this area where I am, I'm in like the second bowl. I know when we fished matches here before, these have come nowhere near. The first bowl over there, that seems to be, from what I've seen in previous matches, that seems to be a slightly better area. But I've had 1 or 2 fish. Then I brought that kit in, and I have, as usual, at the end of the session, I'm going to have a little go on the method feeder. Well, I've set some, made some ground bait, the swim stim and the marine halibut ground bait. It's the Nick Speed combination, and I'm not using it just because he uses it. I think it's just a great combination. Since I tried it, I've loved it, and it is a great combination. So I just chucked that out for 5 minutes while I had a cup of coffee before I started talking to you guys. The tip went round. I've just had a 10-pound mirror cap. I can't get away from these big lumps, can I? So the way I've kicked this peg off, I'm putting between 6 and 8 pellets in there. 4mm pellets. I've got some 4mm in here and some 6mm in there, and I've alternated. I've caught fish on both. I'm not fishing, I'm fishing at sort of 9 metres. It's not too far out. It's pretty level all the way out. I just wanted a dead simple approach and just see what happens. I wasn't expecting this wind. I know when I checked yesterday, it wasn't supposed to be this windy, and it is actually. It's quite chilly, and it's not as prolific as I thought it might be, because last week when I was on the bomb, doing the bomb session on Laurels, I'm sure we would have definitely got some fish shallow, and I was hoping that might happen today, but I'm not so sure. I've not had any indications so far on the way down. Having said that, it's not that deep, so I'm going to get out there. Let's see if we can get 1 or 2 fish. I've just had one on the 6mm, so I'm going to put a 6mm back on. My fingers have gone cold, a little bit cold. I'm setting all the cameras up and everything. So I've got my 6mm on there. And I've gone slightly heavier on the elastic. I'm normally like an 8 to 10 elastic on, but I've gone 10 to 12, and it seems just right actually. I've still got quite a few top kits to put new elastics in, so let's get out there, let's give it a go. There's nothing complicated about this. It's a little bit of patience as well. I'm flicking it just in front, it's fairly level, and slightly to the left. The wind's blowing that way, so I just go slightly to the left. And I'm tipping the pellets in from a height just to make a bit of noise. Pull that back into them slightly. And I've got it dotted right down. It's literally, it's probably like 2 stops together. I know you can't see it, I've mentioned it before, I have not got a camera zooming in on it. And it's dotted right down, just so, because they're only tiny little bites, these F1's. I want to be able to see any kind of indication, if it's a lift bite or if there's any signs on the way down. And by dotting it right down, you can see every little indication. But this wind, I haven't half got up. I mean, it was behind me. I've sat here because the wind was behind. Oh, that was a lift bite. And now it's left to right, and it's a bit of a pain because I've not left a very long lash at all. When I'm fishing for F1s, I don't want it to be too long. Probably got about 12 to 15 inch of lash from my pole tip to my float, and then I've got 2 back shot on. And Bob's just had another one over there. I've had a little break from this while I've been getting the camera set up, so it might not we might not be straight into fish. There's no indication on its way down, and it's holding okay actually. It's moving a little bit. It's moving ever so slightly left to right. But it is becoming a bit of a pain, this wind blowing left to right. And I keep alternating, I keep switching between a 4mm and a 6mm. And I've had some mighty F1s, I've had a couple up to about £4. Oh, very slow there, Alan. Just took my eye off it, so that's the first indication. A very tiny little bite. The little buggers to catch these F1s. And while we're talking about F1s, I've actually entered quite a few matches. Maver match this, Golden Reel, and Fishomania. The Fishomania, I mean, I'm going to Sesse. Never fished there before, but Bob over there, he's fished it quite a few times. But I've noticed that a lot of these Fishomania qualifiers, there seem to be F1 venues. It's pretty specialist, is F1. And I know at Sesse, from what he's been telling me, you're going to need £300, I think, to win to qualify from there. But even here at Lindholme, you need sort of in the region of 250, and it's a lot of fish to catching those F1s. And I think there's only Ayfield Lakes, and I think there's Heronbrook, is it? I think it's Heronbrook that's not F1 dominated. I'm not so sure. I've never fished it, so I might be wrong there. But I have noticed that it's sort of catered for the F1 specialists. Which, yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty confident that on the right day I can catch £200, but catching £300, ooh, slow, Alan, very slow. So I'm probably going to focus. I mean, they've all sold out now, the Fishomania tickets, but I'll probably focus sort of around the Golden Reel, a few Maver Match This's, and I'll have my tickets renewed for the Golden Rod going into the winter. So I've got about 4 tickets for that. let's see if I don't get anything on this drop in, I'll ship back in. I'll go back out with another 5 or 6 pellets, drop them from sort of a foot or two, just to make that little bit of noise. Well, I'll just tell you why. I mean, I know I've told you before, but the reason I go beyond and slightly to the left, I mean, you'll have heard Jamie Hughes going about it, and it's so right. It's not very deep, but it's to just make sure that that's just settled nicely. You've got a nice arc, it's nice and tight, so any indication, you'll see it. Oh, and I've been semi-skimmed, missing them. Again, I've just flicked it back out. I've one more go. That's just settling nicely. I can just see my back shot, just drop those in ever so slightly. They are definitely helping with this wind blowing a hoolie. Oh, there was a slight indication. It was a bit weird that. It didn't go under, but there was something probably swimming past it, maybe a liner. But these are all the things that you're looking for all the time. And that's the first time I've actually had an indication like that. Sort of, I'm assuming it's either just off the bottom, mid-water maybe. It was a bit strange. So there's definitely 1 or 2 fish knocking about there, hopefully. But as usual, I'm not hooking into them while the camera's on. And this is how it was when I first started. It took a little bit. I know I've had a couple of bites that I've missed, been semi-skimmed. Again, very tiny indication. Let's just get a few more pellets. I've put a little bit of oil on them. I know you see people dunking them in the water. Let's have another go this time. When you can still do it, you can still dunk it in if you want. Well, that didn't take very long. Second ship out, missed, semi-skimmed on the first indication. Next indication, a little tap on the float, and away we go. Pop up. Oh, you're a bit slow there, Alan. Everything is popped up now. Right, there we go. Another F1. Has the hook popped out? It has. So I think you're going to be thinking I've been telling porkies, aren't you? Because he's a bit lively, this one. So these last two have been quite a lot smaller than the previous few that we had. So let's see if we can do that again, repeat that again. I'll just dry my hands, get my pellet on, and then we'll see how we go on next. Right, let's have another go. Hey, this wind is really starting to get up now. It's becoming a bit of a pain, to be honest with you. Try to go through the same routine at a foot above. That little bit of noise. As you can see, it's becoming a right pain, this wind. That's just settled nicely. Any slight indication it's worth a lift, especially with these F1's. It's a shame it's not a bit calmer, because you'll be able to see little ripples when it just taps it slightly. Little ripples, and enough of an indication for me for F1's. but you've definitely got more chance of seeing any indication the lower the float is. And give it a go when you see, when you're in white, when it's like white, or with the clouds above like this. Blacken the tip out, or if you've got floats that have already got black tips, give those a go. Obviously, when there's a dark shadow across it, that's moved actually. When there's a dark shadow, the yellow tips, orange tips, red tips, they're definitely better. You wouldn't see the black one at all, to be fair. There we go. Didn't even pull, I mean, it's dotted right down. It didn't even pull it under. It was just enough. I mean, if my float was sticking up, again, I've mentioned this before, if my float was sticking up sort of an inch, I would have never have seen that. I'd have thought there were things playing tricks with my eyes there. It was just enough movement on the float to know that it was an indication. Oh, it's going crackers, this. Wow. Hope it's not foul hooked. Wow. He saw that soon enough, didn't he? And this is the... he's going berserk. He's not happy at all. Wowzers. Holy jeepers. Oh, went too much of the landing net out there. I should have had him then. That was a typical stamp. That was about £4-ish. Maybe a bit more actually. It looked like a decent size F1. Oh dear, nobody likes to see that. There's a few lads over there. And... oh, bird's nest. We've got a bird's nest. How the heck has that happened? Ah, it's with the rubbers moving up and down with that last fish. Oh, nobody likes to see this either. There we go. We'll just give the line just to straighten out. Make sure it's smooth. Yeah, all my shots move there with the fish going crazy. Didn't half go crazy. All my shots still in place. Nice one. So go through the same thing again. Let's see if we can get another one. I mean, did you see the size of that? I don't think you actually saw it, but it was about £4-ish. Maybe a bit more. And it hardly pulled the float under at all. At all. I'll give that another go. Damn it, nobody likes to see that. They're going crazy, they're definitely livening up these fish. Get set again. Again, keeping that tight line down, right down to the pellet. It's definitely anchored that now. You'll be able to tell as well, because there's usually a little bit of tow, and you'll see your float settle, and then when it just pulls that little bit extra, just a tiny little bit, then you know that it's like the tow and it's just about holding bottom. I mean, the 6mm, the reason I've put the 6mm on is because the 6mm pellet is actually holding better. Whoa. The 4mm, it just seems to be moving. Ooh, tiny bite. Can't believe just can't believe the size of some of these fish, and the bites are just next to nothing. There, that's just settled. And now I can just see the just holding bottom now. And it really does look like I've just got, I mean, I can see my back shot just popping out now and again when my pole moves, and the amount of float that's showing is no more than two, oh, some mighty fish over there. You hear that big splash? It's like two back shot. If I lift it out, you could easily mistake the tip of my float for my back shot. Oh, that, saying it's a proper bite. It pulled the whole of the sort of 3 miller float under. What a bite that was. And you missed it. Semi-skimmed, Alan, semi-skimmed. So we'll reset that, that should settle nicely. Oh, they're going crackers over there. Could be chucking my method feeder over there later on. Nothing this time, so if I don't get an indication this time, I will redo it with a few more pellets. I do think they're wanting a bit more snap. But having said that, today, it's not a great day today, so it seems strange. I know you've seen me get 1 or 2 bites, but I don't know, it's just, there doesn't seem to be a regular pattern. I mean, I've had an hour or so this morning before I started filming, and oh yes, oh yes. It's sort of been on and off. It's not been prolific, and I'm definitely, I mean, I've switched to a 6mm pellet, and I do seem to be getting one or two more bites on the 6mm pellet. So I'll do that again. And there we go. There we go. Tap those in from about 12 inches. Straight over the top of them. And what I do to get my accuracy, again, I've looked this up when I first started pole fishing. My right knee, oh, straight under. My right knee is against one of the legs on my box. I've picked a target which is the edge of a green, I don't know, the toilets or wherever it is over there. And my elbow is on the back of the pole, so the distance and the line is virtually within an inch or two. It's got to be always the same, and then it's up to you whether you want to come in front of your bait, beyond your bait. Those are little tactics that can work as well. And that's just sat lovely. It just needs to go under. Tiny bite again, tiny. Semi-skimmed today. I might be a little bit eager there, maybe, I don't know. Runny nose, this wind makes your nose run. Especially when it's a bit chilly like this today. It's a bit colder than I thought it was going to be as well. Well, that one, wind's blowing my hood everywhere. That's probably the second ship out since I last spoke to you. And that one, emptied my pellets, pulled the rig straight over the top of them, and literally within a second, I wouldn't say flew under, but you know, the little F1-y type tap. She seems like a decent fish again. Actually, it's quite nice with it up when it blows up like I can't pull it because I've not got heavy gear or anything. Putting a nicey battle up. Get that low. See if it works. See if they've been quite big, these F1s. They've not been. Ooh, not sure it is an F1 that actually. Oh, it is it? Not sure what it is. Oh, it is an F1. Oh, knocking the camera with my hand. I thought it was like a ghosty at first. Yeah, these are the stamp that I've been catching earlier, and a little bit bigger as well. But there we go. Nice chunky F1s. Couple of pound or so. And like I say, I've had some round about the 3 or 4 pound mark. That's about, what did I say, 6 or 7 and a carp. What about 10 fish and 10 F1s and a carp. So, you know, and all I've come with is just a few. It's not an expensive day. Was it 2 or 3 quid for some pellets, 4mm pellets, a few 6mm I had left over. I'm not feeding any micros, no ground bait or anything. It's just, again, it's just testing things. We're getting to that time of year now. It's looking like we're getting onto pellet season, which I'm quite happy with. Another few weeks and I reckon we might start bagging quite heavily. Right, let's have another go. I actually switched to a 4mm pellet that time. I still might, I don't know, I might have a go shallow, but I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. I'll put another half a dozen or 8 pellets in there. Let's see if it'll do it for the camera this time. Right, here we go. Semi-skimmed, you've dropped a pellet. Don't want to be doing that. Wind's not making it easy. Drop those there. Let's just settle over them. And it literally had gone by now. But you know what's going to happen now the camera's on, now the camera's rolling. Oh, we did have a bite there. But you can see it's just a nice, steady little routine. Feed a few pellets, pull your rig over the top of it, make sure everything's nice and tight and accurate, and hopefully we end up with a fish or two. Like I say, it's not, there we go. Tiny little bite. And it's taken a bit of getting going, to be honest with you. So, you know, you see people, oh, I've not had a bite on pellet, and that's after sort of 20 minutes, half an hour. It took a good hour before, I mean, don't get me wrong. Third put-in, I did have a fish. It's a smaller one this time. But it's taking a bit of getting going to sort of start catching like this. I mean, another couple of weeks, this lake, it'll just be, you know, quite a lot smaller. This lake will be on fire, you know. I watched Matt Pilly, I think it was in April. Caster, I called him now, because he had 20 pints of casters. He was fishing over there, but I didn't fancy that today with this wind in your face. And it took about £230, I think, something like that. And it was just great watching him. Well, it wasn't, because they were catching like 4 times as many as me. But you know what I'm saying, it's just an experience to watch. I mean, that was sort of, I think it was the end of April, Fishomania I think it was. So again, I'll put a few more pellets in. And they have restocked it with a few fish as well, this. I mean, they said that Bob's had about 15 sort of fishing is on the bomb, and then he's just gone into his edge, his margins. He's been feeding margins. In fact, he started feeding it right from the off when we arrived this morning, but he's just said he's getting some in the margins now, and he said the big ones as well. But with pleasure fishing, you know, it's I don't think the fish in the margin have come this quick in a match. That's actually just gone off my marker, that. Let me get it back again. It is important that you get them over those pellets on the marker, just for your own confidence, that you know you're in the right spot, where you've plumbed it up, it's sat right. There we go. Listen to me, sounding like I know what I'm doing. Let's see if we can get another one for the camera. Trying to do live feeds with animals and wild things, it never works out. Always moaning about it on telly, aren't they? Doesn't help when there's grebes knocking about neither. Pretty birds them though, we don't mind them. It's them seabirds we don't like. Oh yeah, I thought I was having a bite then, it was wind. There we go. Ooh. Missed it, semi-skimmed. That's not where I want it exactly. Let that settle. And it's all, you know, it's repetitive. But there's nothing wrong with that, because at least you're keeping it accurate. And there we go. It don't know which way to go, this. Oh, come off. Oh, darting everywhere, that. Went left and right. But I think you get the gist of what I'm trying to do. It's just keeping it simple, keeping it accurate, and let's hope those fish just keep coming. So let's get back in. Let's get them. There we go. Oh, you can't believe it, can you? Nobody likes to see that. That was a nice one as well. It was one of the bigger ones. Shots moved again. Again, it was exactly the same sort of routine. A few pellets in. Between 5 and 8 pellets I'm putting in. I'm on the 4mm pellet at the minute. It is getting different. This wind, it's just it's not being very kind, and it is a little bit chilly. It's not supposed to be this chilly. I'll give it another go. Let's just see if we can get one this time. Look like another 3 pounder plus, that one. Be having heart attacks on Loco. He's got his bird scaring guns going off. Don't like it that side. There we go. Tap those in. There we go. Pull that in, straight over the pellets, and hope we get a little indication. It's just calmed down a little bit, that wind now. Oh, it's coming back again. Oh, excuse me. And nothing. Come on, fishes. Show these lovely fisher people. mighty fisherman I am. Got to say that I've had some good days this winter. I can't complain. Some nice fish as well. A couple of 20-pounders. These F1's. I know it was fishing its socks off last week. Was Willows. I can't complain because I've had a dozen of fish or more, so and a nice 10-pounder. While I was having my coffee, it spoilt my coffee break. But just when you want it to be a little bit hectic, it's not quite happening. I know I've had one or two while you've been on, but we want it to go under all the time. So we'll just relay that. Pull that into where the pellets are. Let that settle. Back shot in. Settle lovely there. That's just hit the bottom. Pellet. You just need to go under. Again, I'll do this maybe 2-3 times if I don't have any indications. I've not had any indication this put in. I will put a few more pellets straight back in. I'm not going off last week. They definitely wanted a bit of feed, so I'm tending to sort of go edge towards feeding a little bit more. Having said that, today is quite a lot chillier than we were expecting. And Bob's just put his coat on, just to give you an idea. And to be honest, I could quite easily put mine over the top of this. I'm all right, but I'm just sort of giving you an idea. It is quite a bit chillier than we expected. Oh, a little indication. Missed it. Too busy gassing on, too busy gassing. Right, we'll persevere. Right, we're just going back in, we're just settling over it. Oh, that took it on the drop. The float hadn't even settled there and I had an indication. So they may take it shallow today, which I might have a little go of it later on. Might put a little jigger on or something. See how that reacts. But we're happy. I'm happy just catching them like this at the minute. It's nice just to read what's actually happening there with the bites. I've put a few more pellets in this time just to see if that makes a difference. When I say a few more, I'm on about maybe 10 or a dozen rather than 5 to 8 pellets. And there's plenty of fish in here, so I'm not too worried about putting them off too much. Right, I know I've been rattling on about being accurate, but since this wind's got up quite a bit more, my float has been moving to the right a little bit. So what I did, I relayed my rig probably 6 to 8 inches to the right, and it went straight under. My theory behind that is, I wonder if some of these pellets have been drifting that way a little bit on the bottom or on the way down. Pretty fine. I'm not saying there's going to be loads there, but it certainly fooled this one. Ooh, he nearly came up. Is he going to this time? Thank you for swimming into my net. Yeah, so I just thought, you know, I just noticed it's just started to tow a little bit more. There we go, we can't complain at those, can we? Beautiful fish. Just started to tow a little bit more than it has done all morning. So I just thought, well, I'll give it. There's only little 4mm pellets I've been putting in. Just laid it to the right, probably let it settle about 6 to 8 inches, maybe a bit more, I don't know. This far, whatever. And it worked, it went straight under. So I'm not saying do it all the time, it's just worth the thought of, you know, I'm going to go back out there with about 8 pellets. I'm going to refeed in the same spot, and I'll just show you what I did there. Make sure my shot's right. Yeah. Right, so I've gone shipped out like this. It's just always thinking of little, what can you call them, edges, just little things that you notice that's happening with your float. So I've gone through, I'll do exactly the same. Tap the pellets in. There we go. I just noticed I didn't dunk those neither, and the oil must be just wearing off because there's 1 or 2 pellets drifting away there. Maybe, mind you, I've been dunking them, so that's one of the reasons you should dunk it. I forgot to do it there. They've sunk now, but they've sunk at about a foot beyond where my float is, and we don't want that. Oh, and that went straight under. So I've not had a bite. Basically, where I am now, I've sort of gone, flicked it to the left, held it about a foot away, not even that, let it settle there, and then it just went bang straight away, you know. So let's just see if it'll do it there. Maybe not. No, so I'll just go back to where I have been fishing. Just sort of thinking, you know, I wonder if 1 or 2 pellets has drifted on the toe. Whether it's just pot luck, pellets might not have done, but you know, I just thought it was worth a little look there. Oh, that took it just before it settled properly again. Might be worth having a go shallow. That's just settled nicely. And I've had 2 bites there, 2 indications straight away where I've fed, and I didn't have an indication at all, which is the reason I moved on the previous 2 put-ins. It seems that there's 1 or 2 fish back there again. They're never too far away. There we go, tiny little bite in the spot I've been feeding for the last couple of hours. That's all we're looking for. It's just steady away. I don't know how many I've had now. I've lost about 3 or 4, but must be up to about 15 F1's and a great meaty carp. There we go. Ooh, he's got lively now, he's in here. Stay still, stay still, stay still. He won't stop wriggling. I'm going to be between my legs and everything. Alright, coming to life now, aren't you? Marvellous hook, it won't come out. There we go. Right. I'm going to have a cup of coffee and nip to the loo. Right. And then we'll get back and catch a couple more. Well, that's another one. That seems like a slightly better stamp. Set off like a crazy fool. Just calming down a little bit now. Let's see if it'll pop up nicely, like the F1's usually do. Yes. First one that's behaved. Right, so I don't know how many I've had. I've had 15 or more of these F1's, and they're just coming nice and steady away. A little bit of patience. We're not certainly not into bagging season just yet. Not prolifically, not like we know that they can do. That's just got caught in my net with him jigging about. Take the pellet off while that dangles down there. Right, there we go. Another F1. Oh, I thought they were a bit bigger actually, but they're not bad at all them to catch, are they? And it's such... Oh, I've thrown the line. It's tangled in a bird's nest. Bird's nest alert. So yeah, it's just such a simple way of catching fish. Just a few 4mm pellets. I've got some 6s as a alternate bait, which I've had 1 or 2 on. I had 1 or 2 better ones this morning on the 6mm. Dead simple setup. It's a 4x14's float. I've blacked the tip out because it's, as you can see, it's white out there. Bulk shot, couple of droppers, and a 16's B911 banded, and it's worked a treat. I'm going to have another hour or 2. There's no point in me just showing you me catching. I think you've got the basics. I might have a go shallow. I'm going to have a little go on the feeder as well, but I just wanted you to see such a simple tactic. Pellets on its way in without a shadow of a doubt. So get yourselves out there, have a go on pellet, whether it be 4mm, 6mm. The 8mm will be showing, fish will be having plenty of those soon as well. And I hope you've oh, there's fish topping everywhere, absolutely everywhere. I hope you've enjoyed the insights on Willows. Like I said, I don't think it's a favoured area, this. Catching 1 or 2 F1's on 4mm and 6mm pellets, and I've not used a great deal, as you can see. That will change. Get out there, give it a go, and enjoy yourself like I have today. It's been a cracking few hours. Can't complain. Again, Lindholme, it produces the goods every time. There's plenty of fish in here to be caught, so bring your kids down. Teach them how to fish, or if they know how to fish already, bring them down here. They'll love it, absolutely love it. So don't forget folks, if you do enjoy my videos, don't forget to subscribe if you already haven't. Click the notification bell, you will get all our videos as we upload them, and a thumbs up would be very, very nice. So it's match season next week. I am going to be booking a match. You will see the lovely, horrible bloke himself, Soz, and a few more of my pals, and everybody's really, really looking forward to it. So not sure we're going to go. Could be Woodhouse, Grange, something like that. I'll book something for next week. So thanks for watching. We shall see you on the bank, hopefully fishing a match. See you very, very soon, and don't forget, fish on guys. See you soon.